Using my old flip. Yeah, one of the old ones. The original. Yeah, still pretty good cameras. Good enough for response videos. It's good enough for any kind of video because videos are a pain in the ass because file formats don't work in the editors. Yeah, it's really hard to keep the quality. It's just really irritating. Anyway, so on other subjects. Yeah, you probably can't read this though, but that's okay. You don't really need to read it. I'll just read it for you. Alright, anyway, this guy, Cunning Stogma or something, I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't just point out because but it's just a reflection of comments. Okay, so yeah, very few people comment, and that is good. Because comments just annoy the fuck out of me most of the time. And especially these kind of comments. Alright, on the subject, the thing that is moving at or even faster than the speed of sound are the air molecules at a given time. Sound consists of pressure waves through a material. Okay. Like, I don't need to hear this, fucker. Yeah. Think of a speaker. The surface of the cone is not moving at the speed of sound. Well, that's where I think you're wrong. Alright, because part of it is. Not the cone, but the fibers on the threads on the cone. Pieces of the speaker are moving at the speed of sound. Faster than. But as it moves, it changes pressure of the air near it. Well, again, there's no point in saying changes the pressure of air. Okay, because this whole idea of pressure isn't a physics concept. It's a human concept, but it's not really physics. Physics is one thing bangs into another thing. It isn't pressure. Pressure is an illusion of the consolidation of active material. So the more active material in a confined space, the higher the pressure. Right? So it's about the movement of molecules within a space defines pressure. So it's all about the movement of molecules. So get your fucking head out of the wave butt and get that. It changes the pressure of the air near it. Yeah, there's no the pressure of the air near it. See, this is where you're in big trouble. The pressure of the air near it. No, it and air are the same things here. They're both molecules. Nothing is physically accelerated towards the speed of sound. Well, right there, you're just wrong. Alright, everything moves a little bit, and they move at the speed of sound. That's what they do. They move. Molecules move. That creates pressure. Movement creates pressure. Waves of higher and lower air pressure propagate through the air. No. Alright, movement of molecules. A specific movement propagates through the air. Alright, which means it propagates through molecular chains of molecular structure. If there's a vacuum, a little tiny thin one put in between the molecules, all of a sudden, no, it stops. No more movement because there's no molecules to move. And that's the way it works. So if you're going to write comments explaining things, please do it accurately. And if you ain't going to be accurate, you're going to just piss me off. So you just pissed me off. So congratulations. If that was your intention, was to piss me off because you're a patronizing motherfucker, success. You've accomplished your task. I'm pissed off. Alright, enough. But I just hate this. If you're going to pretend to be an authority and you're going to talk to everybody like they're 5 fucking years old, then be fucking right. Yeah. Alright, speaking of assholes that can't even get close to the word right or accurate or whatever, this thing, another one of these things from Scotland, these blubber-necked fatheads, what is the whole country full of these fucking idiots? Yeah, fucking, get used to the word fucking, but here it comes. And this is a happy guy who loves life. And he says fuck every third word. Right? So this guy is trying to sell me on the idea that life is really cool and really great. And he uses fuck more than I do. Does that make any sense? Should happy people go anywhere near fuck, 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 fuck in a sentence. No, I mean, it should only be like, you know, I don't even know how to, like, only when the pink balloon once in a while loses a little bit of air should the word fuck fly out of their mouth. Oh, God. This is the hopeless assholes on this fucking planet. Anyway, let's play some of this. Well, anyway, so anyway, it's the same old arguments. Cult, oh yeah, you're going to help us, you kill yourself. Like, that's what we're arguing for, is killing ourselves, or not breeding, right? If we don't breed, then his kind will outbreed us. Again, it's back to this kind of crap, like it's a competition. Yeah, go ahead and don't breed, and then my genetics will take over the world. I mean, just amazing. He thinks a philosophy is a piece of your genetic code. He thinks, I guess he really believes that anybody born in Scotland will be a Scottish, drunken, lunatic, moron, fucktard, fat-necked idiot. And maybe that's true. I haven't seen any evidence to the contrary. Fucking goddamn, they ought to just isolate this island, because it's got to be a fucking toxic waste dump, because there isn't a fucking goddamn brain in the whole fucking goddamn island that has a fucking goddamn thing to say that's anywhere near fucking rational.
It's never going to happen.
No, it's never going to happen.
You're never going to convince everybody in the world to stop having babies. Right?
Okay, so this is just you just say this shit like you have no way to defend it whatsoever. Anybody can say it about anything that hasn't been done. They can just make the argument that can't be done and not back it up with anything. The fact is that a lot of people, billions of people on this earth, do not propagate. They do not send their seed into the future. Alright, so it's not that unrealistic that you just change the percentage from that percentage to this percentage. And it's just an idea change. How many people own slaves nowadays? Not too many. We won't talk about how many people, you know, beat their wives, because apparently we haven't made too much fucking progress in that direction in most of the fucking idiotic, moronic world. But I mean, most of the people don't look at the moon and think cheese. Yeah, so certain ideas we've been able to kill, and killing the idea that replicating for the sake of replication, that just obeying a DNA molecule's mandate, maybe that's not brilliant, and maybe the human race should think a little bit bigger and higher and better and all that kind of crap, and not get lost in this idea that it has to maintain a 7 billion human population. And maybe 15 is the right number. Maybe 15 humans in a nice ivory tower somewhere is the right number.
Case in fucking point here, this is China, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm in a city with 50 million people. There's 15 million people. There's 1.3 billion people in this country. How are you going to talk to them about fucking having babies, right?
The same way, like I said, there's people right now who aren't having babies. There's people right now who are vegetarians. So I guess all it really takes is to have some sort of public argument. It finally becomes a public controversy. People have to argue it out, and they have to make the convincing argument. I'm not saying it's an easy task, but for you to say it's impossible, it's just pulling shit out of your dirty, stinking, infested, hemorrhoid-covered ass. I mean, it's just bullshit, okay? It's just an argument. It's just a philosophical belief. And we see in the last 200 years how human perception of the world has changed radically. And the fact that it can take another radical step is not out of the question. It's not beyond possibility. You're just being an asshole arguing from popularity. That's all you're doing. You're just saying, we Christians are indestructible because everybody is with us. Well, we see that Christianity's dying. It's just fucking dying on the fucking curb. And I know Muslims are taking over, but I mean, the point is it's dying. And your dumb notions can die just as easily.
Are you going to talk people in Africa that having babies, or South America? Anywhere, how are you going to fucking talk to the guy next
Well,
door?
look, how did I get talked into it, right? I mean, I didn't get talked into it. I got evidenced, bludgeoned into it. I mean, I just did the little tiny bit of rational thinking as a 7-year-old and said, why am I here? What exactly is the function here? What's the mission statement? What exactly am I supposed to do besides play with my Winky and sit in the mud? I mean, is there something here worth all of this mumbo jumbo? And I drew the conclusion that no, if I look at all these adults, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. The whole fucking thing is crazy and stupid. And yeah, I'm just along for the ride on the idiot yellow bus. The retard bus. The fucking retard bus.
Right?
Sorry, you can't understand him, I can't.
I had one guy in another video I made, right, suggested that animals should be fucking, because I says, look, I says, even if you manage to fucking sterilise every person in the world, right, some other species going to come up and they're going to fucking do the same thing, right? It's not.
Okay, so again, you're making a proclamation based on no evidence. Do you have some sort of evidence of the first, the birth of the first human, for example, and that the acquisition of a brain structure that makes language-capable organisms is inevitable? Because the truth is, we had this brain capable of all this advanced science, landing on the moon, understanding physics, being able to call a fucktard a fucktard. We acquired all that. Okay, we have that a brain that can do that. But we had the same brain 40,000 years ago when we weren't capable of doing any of that, when we hadn't even invented the word fucktard yet. Okay, and yet we had a brain capable of pointing and going fucktard, 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 yet we didn't fucking goddamn do it. Alright, so it's kind of unusual in evolution to have a skill, an ability, a potential, and have it unrealized or unutilized, and still maintain it through evolution. So maybe, fuckwit, the evidence will demonstrate that the odds of even any mammal ever acquiring our level of intelligence are the same as the odds of the first cell replicating. It might be an incredible perfect storm, a thing where it would take a zillion permutations before that would happen. You don't have it. You don't know. Yet you just proclaim it. You just proclaim that, yes, even though it only happened once in 4 billion years, even though dragonflies have been exactly the same almost, they didn't evolve a bigger brain for some reason, for 500 million years, 300 million years, yeah, I'll just say it. I'll just proclaim that intelligence is inevitable. The acquisition of the faculty of conscious intelligence is inevitable. I'll just declare it. Why? Because we did it. Because it happened once, I'm going to say it always happens. And you're going to tell me you're on some sort of logical high ground, that you're making the rational argument here? Sorry, that's called bullshit.
It's nature, right? And they say, oh, we sterilise them as well. So I went through the list of the millions of species of fucking animals, right? Starting with the mammals. It says, right, explain it. How are you going to sterilise the other dogs?
Well, whatever. I'm not going to I wouldn't be bothered sterilizing them all. I'm saying if you come up with the technology, it's certainly doable. You can come up with a virus that makes everything infertile. I mean, that's just that's quite doable, asshole. But in the end, it's liquefaction. Just coat the planet Earth with a nice little coating of lava, and you've pretty much solved the problem of evolution on Earth. So, but whatever. That's it has really so little to do with the fundamental argument. I mean, you really don't have to look at the end game. Just look at the argument getting to the end game. Because the end game is ugly. Why look at it? Why talk? When somebody dies, you don't sit there and go, oh yeah, well now they're full of formaldehyde, and the formaldehyde goes through their tissues, and it does this, and it keeps the bugs from doing that, and the bug eats it, and it says, ooh, I don't like that, and then it comes back in 100 years to do the job instead. You don't go through all that crap, right? You don't look at the reality of the end game. You look at the reality of the life, okay? And what I'm saying is look at the reality of the game. And yeah, of course it is this terminal ending. I mean, it's a zero-sum game. The planet's going to get vaporized eventually anyway, asshole. So we're just talking about when the thing dies, not how. It's the issue of how is almost irrelevant, because any how is going to be better than the how nature has for you, shithead. Nature's going to kill the human race without any kind of empathy at all. It's going to kill all the animals without any empathy at all. So the argument isn't about killing life. The argument is whether life itself can justify its existence, whether it actually produces something, some kind of something that is something else other than cleaning up its own mess. That there is some kind of value that isn't a value only because we created the negative potential in the first place. You open the door to harm, you prevent some of the damage the open door to a harm creates, and then give yourself a gold star for solving a problem. Well, the problem is you created the problem, all right? So that's not a victory. Cleaning up half the poop you left on the floor is nothing to give you a trophy for.
Then how are you going to sterilize all it? They couldn't take it.
Alright, well, I'm not going to waste time with this forever. So let's see if there's anything in this end section. And we'll just get out of here.
I wouldn't disagree. If you are going to say that some people shouldn't have wings, you're not going to get a big argument from me there either. Right, I absolutely agree with that.
So you can decide. So you decide what is the standard for a life worth living, or individuals competent to have children. Yet will claim that my definition is wrong. My definition is nobody's capable, nobody's competent to control this experiment. It's always a dangerous experiment. Doesn't matter how many degrees you got, and nobody has any. Doesn't matter what you think you can accomplish. It's too out of control. There's too much downside risk. And all you're saying is oh yeah, well I'll accept that when the person's a complete moron or an asshole by 90% of the people's judgment. And I'm just saying, well, I can do it, based on 1% of the people's judgment, and make the argument that that's what it's really made out of. It's a pile of shit. The fact that you only smell it when it's, overtly shitty, that's your deficit. Okay, you're just not trying hard enough to see the truth. So anyway, enough of this. Whatever, turd. So anyway, you didn't really get a good, like I said, he said fuck about 76 times. No, 776 times. Fucking. And I just found that so ironic from some guy, talking up the old life adventure bullshit. So, but yeah, just the typical asshole argument. You can't do it. Well, that's not the fucking point. Even if it was true, it still wouldn't be the point. The point is whether we should be doing it. Should is the question. Should. The question is an ought issue. What ought to be? Not what is, not what's possible, just what ought. Ought. Shithead. Yeah, so I think that's enough. So till the next time. Unfortunately, there probably will have to be a next